Okay, welcome back to the Garrett Nutrition Show. This video is going to be about why vegetable oil is bad. If I could give anyone one piece of advice about nutrition, it would be to give up vegetable oil 100%. Very close second would be give up wheat. But vegetable oil is definitely number one. Because at least wheat is a plant that grows in nature. But vegetable oil is just, it's a chemistry experiment. It's not fit for human consumption in any way, shape, or form. You should avoid it like the devil. You should avoid it like imagine you're super religious and the only sin is eating vegetable oil. That's how serious this is. Read every label of every thing that you buy, every food, and if it says canola oil, soy oil, corn oil, sunflower oil, safflower oil, cottonseed oil, I think I might be forgetting one or two. Coconut is not so bad. It's a lot better. I still wouldn't recommend it, but it's way better if you insist on using some kind of vegetable oil or oil of plant origin, because vegetable oil is a really stupid misnomer. It's marketing. But yeah, you should read every ingredient, and if it says any of those things, don't buy it, don't eat it. I don't care if it's the last ingredient. Usually it's the second or third. Usually, like if you're eating a cookie, it's like sugar, chocolate, vegetable oil, or wheat, vegetable oil, sugar, whatever. Like, just don't eat it. Trust me. And there are 3 amazing videos about this that I'm going to link in the description that will do a much better job than I'm about to do. But again, I'm just giving my 2 cents and my little recap, the things that I remember most clearly and that seemed the most to stand out the most interesting things. So, why vegetable oil is bad? Well, let's do a little history lesson. There was no vegetable oil in our diets until about 100 years ago. There was also no diabetes, no heart attacks, heart disease, atherosclerosis, whatever. Basically no cancer, very little cancer. And now it's rampant. Now, correlation does not equal causation, of course, but I think there's such a strong correlation, we shouldn't rule it out. And it would make a lot of sense, because what else? There's nothing else so strange as vegetable oil, so foreign to our bodies, that we've added to our diets in recent years or in the last century. Nothing else is as bizarre as vegetable oil. So that makes it a more suspicious culprit. So, the name, it's marketing. It doesn't come from vegetables, it comes from seeds. They should call it seed oil. They don't, but that's what it is. And like I already explained in another video, why seeds, you shouldn't eat seeds, because seeds want to grow and they have chemicals in them that allow them to absorb minerals. So they don't know that they're not in your body. Or they don't know that they're not in the soil, They don't know that they're in a body as opposed to the soil. They act the same way no matter where they are. So seeds and any essence of seed oil is going to inhibit mineral absorption. There's other things that you could argue are much worse and mineral absorption is already really bad, but it has that effect for sure. So yeah, back to the history. It was supposed to be a lubricant originally. That was why it was invented. That's what the original plan was for vegetable oil, and they were just going to lubricate machines, but then someone figured out how to hydrogenate, basically how to make it look like lard and how to make it so that it didn't go rancid, or at least it didn't have the rancid smell. And that was Procter and Gamble, the people who brought us Crisco. If you know what Crisco is, it's like plant lard, and they actually bribed the American Heart Association, which was a very small group of people back in the day, because there was a very small number of heart attacks, and therefore a very small need for cardiologists. And I mean, the first heart attack, there was something interesting about the first heart attack. I can't remember what it is. It's in one of the videos that I'm going to link below. But yeah, the American Heart Association was bribed by Procter and Gamble to promote Crisco as and polyunsaturated fat in general as a healthy alternative to lard, healthy alternative to animal fats. I don't know if they were connected to Ansel Keys, but Ansel Keys is a guy who had the saturated fat heart hypothesis, and he basically lied about his research to make it seem like saturated fat was bad for you, and he went into his research with that foregone conclusion, and so he wanted to prove it, and so he left out a bunch of data that proved him wrong. Saturated fat is good for you. If you think about it, saturated basically means stable. It means that all of the carbons, or all the oxygens, hydrogens, excuse me. It means that all the places that can oxidize, where an oxygen molecule can attach, are already full, so you don't have to worry about them oxidizing. Polyunsaturated, monounsaturated means there's one opening, so there can be some oxidation, like in olive oil. And polyunsaturated means there's a bunch of places, or at least multiple places in the chain for a reaction to occur. So what I'm saying is, polyunsaturated oils are reactive in your body. They change. They wreak havoc. You could almost say it's like they're exploding or rusting, or there's a chemical reaction occurring that's not good for you. And saturated fats are not like that because they're stable. If you took some seed oil that hadn't been hydrogenated and you left it on a counter for a day, it would get rancid really fast. If you do that with butter or lard, you could leave it there, I don't know. I've left butter out for weeks, I'm sure, no problems. Animal fat is saturated fat. Saturated fat is good. Cholesterol is not bad. That's some ridiculous propaganda. Anyway, what else? Vegetable oil. Crisco, American Heart Association, lubricant, history. Okay, I guess that's pretty much everything. Don't eat vegetable oil, guys. I'm serious. It's so serious. It's insidious. It lowers your energy. It interferes with ATP production too. So like you literally will feel lethargic. If you cut out gluten or wheat and cut out vegetable oils and see how much your energy goes up, you'll be amazed. And if you want to do even a worse experiment, maybe try eating something that's very high in vegetable oil. You're poisoning yourself, so I don't know if I really should recommend this, but you know, every time I eat vegetable oil now, I like pass out. Like I get really tired and I sleep a lot more than I normally would. And depending on how much, sometimes it can last for a few days. I'll sleep like 12 hours a day for like 3 days in a row. And that's why I barely go to restaurants anymore, because I'll ask, "Oh, is this fried in lard or butter?" And they'll be like, "Yeah, yeah," and then I can tell that they lied. I can't tell by the taste, but I can tell by the feeling. Yeah. So I'm very sensitive. You don't realize how sensitive, or you don't realize like the problems that something is causing. It's like alcohol. I'm very sensitive to alcohol now because I never ever drink now. If I have one beer, it like ruins my day. It ruins my day and the next night. I hope you can't hear this this water truck. Anyway, drinking one beer will ruin my day and the next day. I won't have a hangover per se. I just won't feel as high vibration, as hippie as that might sound, and I'll fall asleep early. And it's the same thing with the vegetable oil. But sometimes you can build up a tolerance. That's my point. Is like you can build up a tolerance to vegetable oil and to alcohol, but until you give it up completely for a long time, and then you try it again, you won't realize like, oh my God, this was really messing with me the whole time. So yeah, I guess that's it for vegetable oil. Hope you enjoyed this talk. Hope you learned something. I think I'm bad at looking at the camera. Whatever. Yeah, that's about it. See you in the next one.